All right, let's take a look at the practice test. So here for the instructions, we're asked to determine if each relation is a function. So what I'm going to do here for each problem, I'm going to give you a relation, and then I'm going to show you the graph, and you can generate this graph on your own, or you can go to an online calculator like Desmos and just type it in. And then we're going to use the vertical line test to determine if we have a function. So essentially with the vertical line test, you're seeing if any vertical line would impact the graph in more than one location. If it does, well, then you don't have a function, right? Because again, for a function, you have each x corresponding to or linked up with one y. If a vertical line, so x equals some number, if that impacts the graph in more than one location, well, that given x value is going to be associated with more than one y value, and you don't have a function. So let's start off with problem 1. So here we have y is equal to negative 1/2 x plus 2. So I'm just going to give you the graph, and that's going to be this guy here. And obviously you can see that no vertical line would impact the graph in more than one location. So you can just say that this is a function. Okay, and I can draw a few vertical lines just for the sake of completeness. Let me just draw 3 of them. So you can see that each line I've drawn would impact the graph in only one location, okay? And that is what we want for a function. So for each x, there's only one y. All right, let's take a look at problem 2. So here we have the absolute value of y is equal to x plus 2. So looking at the graph, we immediately see we would have a problem. Let me just draw a few vertical lines here, and we can analyze what's going on. So this line here, let's say this is x equals -1. Basically, when you look at it, this vertical line impacts the graph here and also here. So this point right here is going to be, let me arrow to it, -1, 1. And this point right here is going to be -1, -1. So let's go back up. So we have -1, 1, and then -1, -1. So if I plug in a -1 for x, so we have the absolute value of y is equal to -1 plus 2. So -1 plus 2 would be 1. So if I said the absolute value of y equals 1, well, yeah, y could be 1 or y could be -1. Think about it. If I plugged in a 1 there, the absolute value of 1 is equal to 1, right? This is 1 equals 1. That's a true statement. If I plugged in a -1, the absolute value of -1 would also be 1. So 1 equals 1. That's a true statement. So for each x, there's not one y, right? So for this x value of -1, there's a y value of 1 and then also a y value of -1. So this is not going to be a function. Let's come back down here and let's put not a function. And you can look at this other vertical line. So let me change colors here. So it impacts the graph here and here. So this line is going to be x is equal to 2. So this point right here is 2, 4. Let me arrow to this in a different color. So this is 2, 4. And then this point right here is 2, -4. So again, that same x value of 2 is associated with a y value of 4 here and a y value of -4 here. Again, going back, let's put 2, 4. And then 2, -4. And again, it's just because of the absolute value operation. If you plug in a 2 here, 2 plus 2 is 4. So you would get the absolute value of y is equal to 4. Well, that would be true if y is 4 because the absolute value of 4 is 4. Or if y was -4 because the absolute value of -4 is also 4. So the absolute value operation is what's causing this. So we could just come back here again and just say it's not a function. For each x, there's not one y. Okay, let's take a look at problem 3. So here we're given y is equal to the quantity x minus 6 squared plus 1. So this graph would be a parabola. And so looking at this guy, you would see that no vertical line would impact the graph in more than one location. So you can immediately say that this is going to be a function. And let's go ahead and let me draw a few vertical lines for you just for the sake of the tutorial. And I think that's good. You can see that no matter how you draw these vertical lines, you're only going to impact the graph in one location. So there, and then this one would be here. Again, you can draw as many as you want. You would only impact the graph in one location. So this is the graph of a function. All right, let's take a look at problem 4. So here we have y equals x cubed minus x. So looking at my graph, I can clearly see that, yes, this is going to be a function. And this one you might want to graph on your own with Desmos or something like that, but you can see that no vertical line would impact this graph in more than one location. Let me make a few of these here. Let me do one here. So let's say that that's going to hit right there, so only in one spot. Let me do one right there, so that's only going to hit there in one spot. You could do another one maybe right here if you want. And that's only going to hit in one spot. And I'll just do one last one like this. And that's only going to hit right there. So you can see that each vertical line we draw only impacts the graph in one location. So for each x, there's one y. So this relation is a function. All right, let's take a look at problem 5. So here we have the quantity x plus 2 squared plus y squared is equal to 36. Now, most of you realize that this is the equation of a circle. Remember, it's x minus h quantity squared plus y minus k quantity squared is equal to the radius squared. So this circle right here would have a center at -2, 0, right? Again, if you put a minus a -2 there, that's the same as +2, right? So you could write this as x minus a -2 quantity squared plus you could go y minus 0 quantity squared is equal to, for the radius, it would be 6, right? So 6 squared. So this is the same as this. I'm just writing it in this form so we can extract the information. So the center here would be -2, 0, and the radius would be 6. So again, I've already prepared the graph, so we can just come down here. You see your center is at -2, 0, and again, your radius is 6. So from here, I would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units to get to a point. Again, I could go up 6 units or to the left 6 units or down 6 units, I would get to a point. All right, so looking at this, clearly it is not a function, right? So basically for each x, there's not one y. So let's look at the vertical line x equals -2. And you see it impacts the graph here and also here, right? So that violates the definition of a function. So let me arrow to this and say this is -2, 6. And then down here, this is -2, -6. So basically, this is not a function, not a function. If you go back up and you plug in a -2 for x, let me get rid of this. So let's say I plug in a -2 here. Well, -2 plus 2 is 0, right? So basically, you'd have 0 squared, which is 0. So what you're left with at that point is y squared is equal to 36. Well, this guy right here, if I solve for y using the square root property, well, y is equal to plus or minus the square root of 36. So the square root of 36 would be 6, so y equals plus or minus 6, because 6 squared would give you 36, but also -6 being squared would give you 36. So that's why we don't have a function, right? For each x, there's not one y. Here, for an x value of -2, we get two different y values of 6 and then -6. So coming back here, again, we can say this is not a function.